Good morning, everyone. For this speech, I was supposed to tell you a story with a moral. So there was once a young man who lived in a fairly well-to-do family. He was still maybe 15 or so, and was still learning and growing up. One day, though, he decided that he was old enough to live on his own, and he begged his inheritance out of his father until it was finally given to him. Once he had his inheritance, he quickly bought a car and left home for the life that he thought would be best for him. He got into the wide world and immediately found out that he didn't know nearly as much as he thought he did. He was able to get a hotel and eat supper every night for a couple months, but his money was running out very quickly. After living what he called the life for a while, he ran completely out of money. He was stuck. He didn't know what to do or where to go. He begged on the streets for a while, but was finally told that he should really get a job. So he got a job at a nearby chicken farm for a bit of a meager pay. He was barely able to get a scroungy dinner each night. After a while, he was so hungry that he would look at the chicken food with hungry eyes, and upon occasion he would even eat some of it. It was on one of these days that he realized, "My father's workers are taking better care of than this. What am I doing with my life?" So he decided that he would go home and ask his father's forgiveness and at least be a worker for him. He started on his way back, but soon he had a thought. What if he doesn't want me anymore because I ran away from him? This thought scared him and he quickly ran back to work at the chicken farm. But a week later, the same incident happened, and this time he decided he would go home no matter what. And this time he did. He spent the whole walk thinking about how he would explain to his father what had happened. He would think, maybe I should say something like, "Father, forgive me. I don't know what I've done." No, that sounds a little too spiritual. The more he walked, the more he became nervous, and the more he thought about what was about to come. But he did trudge on toward his old home. In the end, it turned out that he didn't have to think too hard about it, because as he crested the hill and saw his old home, he saw his father looking towards the crest of the hill, as he did every evening looking for his long-lost son. As soon as his father saw him, he quickly jumped in his truck and drove to the hill to pick him up. His son tried to explain, but there was no point because his father was so happy to see his son. When they got home, the father shouted, "Prepare a meal! My son is home. This calls for great celebration." His son tried to stop him and said, "But father, I don't deserve this. Let me work as a servant for you. That is even more than I deserve." "Well, have you learned your lesson not to think you know everything?" his father questioned. "Well, yes, I don't want to leave this home in my whole life now," he replied. "Then that in itself deserves a celebration." And his father made him enjoy the feast and declared over and over that it really was his son, and that his son had come home. There are a couple lessons we can take from this. First and foremost, a father's love for his son is so great that he will do anything for him. In this story, the father accepted his son back because it was his son and he cared about his son. Second, always listen to your parents' advice or your teacher's advice. They know what is best for you. You might think you know it all, but chances are you don't.